Hi, this is a video about using GitDox annotation environment for Coptic scriptorium for very basic checking of word segmentation. So the very first thing I've done is after the transcription and has been completed and the transcription has been checked, I clicked the natural language processing button to process the text, to segment the words and annotate them with parts of speech, language of origin, and so forth. One option is you can hit tokenize first, and it will do the word segmentation for you, and then you can check word segmentation. However, when I'm working on Shinuta material, usually go straight to NLP because the tools are very accurate with Shinuta, and it's faster to go straight to NLP if you're confident that you've at least got the bound groups organized correctly. I'm not going to hit that button because I've already done it. So once you've already done the NLP, the way to toggle between this interface and the spreadsheet that will show the NLP results is this mode. And so now it's in the EtherCalc mode, which is the spreadsheet mode. EtherCalc is the name of the spreadsheet software we have embedded. And you can see it's divided up all of the bound groups into words. And so the normalized word is norm here. And so you can see etbeet, ek, on, o, parkegos, enta kakia, enta methodos, nim, and kakotropia, shope. So that's that first sentence in the document. You can see token is the smallest text, amount of text that's been annotated. It might be a word, it might be a letter. The orig group is the original bound group as it appears in the original text. Norm group is the normalized bound group with the superlinear strokes taken out, and sometimes spelling has been normalized. Pause is part of speech. Lemma is lemma. Orig is the original word in the manuscript compared to the bound group, right? Norm is the normalized word. Line are all the line breaks and so forth. And you can see all the other annotations that were included in the transcription or were added, right? So the note is carried over from the transcription. Lang is language of origin. That's new from the NLP. High rend is carried over from the transcription. Column break carried over from the transcription. Page break carried over from the transcription. Right, so the first thing I do is I always pull this little black thick line here in the upper right of the spreadsheet down. So that way, when I scroll through the spreadsheet, that top first line of the column names stays with me. And then what I'm going to show here is just basic checking of the word segmentation. It's often best to go through, especially if you're first starting working in this kind of environment, to do kind of one layer of annotation at a time. So word segmentation, part of speech, lemma, language of origin, kind of do separately. You can do them all together once you get used to it, but it's more accurate if you do them separately. So I'm just going to check the word segmentation, and so far this looks good. I'm going to go over to the original layer, and I'm just going to go down, and these all look like it's all been divided very well into words until we get here. Tirene, that's actually two words, right? The NLP didn't recognize that this is an article and then a noun. And so I'm going to adjust. And for this one, I need to, it looks like it was divided across a line. So you already have two tokens. So you don't need to separate, you don't need to add a new line. and add a new token, but you do need to change the lemma, the original word, the normalized word, and the part of speech. So I'm going to ungroup this cell, ungroup, right? That's that yellow up here on the top where it says merge unmerged cells, ungroup. And I'm going to actually change the original first. Now this should be T Irene. And so I'm going to change the normalized to what it would be with the article and the word separate. This is a somewhat subjective choice. It's what we often do with words that have some kind of, combination or change when they've been combined together. It's not what you would see in a normal print critical edition, but it's what we do to make the processing, machine processing easier. The original always stays the same. And, it's possible that this T is this, right? It's a demonstrative pronoun or something, but it's probably just the article. It's probably just that T is probably just the tau, the epsilon, and iota that have been combined into that one character. So that's what I'm going to do. Now the lemma for the article is not the tau, it's the P, because the lemma is typically the masculine form. And then the lemma, the dictionary head word for the word. And then I need to change the part of speech, which is article, noun. I also, so here I'm doing the opposite of what I said, which to do one thing at a time, but since I'm here, I'm also going to add the language of origin, Greek, because this Irene is a Greek loanword. All right, and then I can just keep going down. Okay, here I am. I've been going through the words and things all look really good until we get here to this one. And this is an example of word segmentation that's going to require that I create a new line, right? Because that's the article, the plural, and minute malakos. And so I am going to add, so you notice that in the manuscript, there's a line break here. I need to be really careful that I don't mess up any of the line, column, or page breaks when I add a line to the spreadsheet, right? So if I'm going to add a line for that the article, I need to be sure it stays on the correct manuscript line, right? So I'm going to click on the cell, and then I'm going to go up to the top to that green plus to insert a row. And then I'm going to copy and paste the up here. Now, this changes, of course, I've got to make the bound group correct. So I am moving the text up to the top cell of the bound group, unbinding all the cells, and then joining all the cells again. So again, here, copy and paste to the top, unjoin this, rejoin. And then in this case, it's an article, right? Is an article. And the lemma is P. The original is that I'm going to copy over. Normalized is just the mu. And then I have to delete the M from the noun. Now, an interesting thing about this noun is that it's got several morphemes inside the noun. This is a compound noun with minute malakos as two morphemes. We annotate that minute, right? That minute, because it's, a separate thing, but it's not its own word. It's a piece of a word. So fortunately for me, I don't have to add another row because minute malakos is separated across a line. It's that minute has already got a token of its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the morpheme layer where it says morph, and I am going to add my morphemes. And I'm just going to make sure they're lined up properly. It looks like, no, I did it wrong. I got to move them up. Yeah, there we go. Now they're correct. And malakos is a Greek word, so I'm going to add the Greek language tag here for just for that morph, just for malakos, because minute, of course, is Egyptian. All right, those are some tips on how to proofread for the segmentation in the spreadsheet mode.